What's up, Previews World? It's Wednesday. It's New Comic Book Day, which means it's time for Previews World Weekly. I'm one of your hosts, Troy Jeffrey Allen.
I'm your other host, Ashton Greenwood, aka the Duchess of Free Comic Book Day, and I have nothing more to say on the matter.
Actually, Baldo reminding us that, hello, everybody, happy 45 years of Star Wars.
Oh, that is true. So
Yeah,
they were saying that on
yeah.
Twitter that like today's the anniversary of the first time you met Ben Kenobi, and then the show drops in 2
And
days.
show just in 2 days, right? That's actually pretty cool. Like, all right. Actually, we'll have some more Ben Kenobi chatter, and we're actually going to talk about Star Wars right now.
Sure.
Oh well, it's not quite what you expect. There's another Star Wars conversation coming
Oh,
later, but this is just in regards to previous catalog is out this week.
it's true. It's
Yeah,
true.
it's in comic shops. It's also available online at previewsworld.com/catalog. I know many of you like the physical version, so yes, you can go to your local comic shop and pick it up as well. And I can't hate on it because comics are comics, and I like books too. So I like to have the physical,
Yeah.
catalog in my hand as well. But I did mention Star Wars earlier, and that's because on the cover is actually kind of a homecoming for Dark Horse Comics. Star
Mm.
Wars Hyperspace Stories, which is an all ages series from Dark Horse, is making its debut, and we get a first reveal of the cover here inside Preview's catalog. Yeah, so definitely check that out. As you can see, Obi-Wan's on the cover, so is Anakin and Padme, right? And those really dumb droids from the
Oh
original
boy.
trilogy, from the prequel trilogy. I mean, I don't even mean that. I don't even mean that as a criticism. I mean, they're just dumb. Like they're dumb droids.
I mean, yeah, they are not intelligent.
No, they are not. Absolutely not.
Roger, Roger.
Roger, Roger. So that's definitely on the front cover. On the reverse cover, we have Love Everlasting by actually a surprising team up between Tom King and Elsa Cartier, which is looks like it's going to be a romance book from Image Comics, which is actually pretty cool.
I'm with it.
A woman trapped in romance comics seeks to escape an endless cycle of doomed romances. And yeah, Tom King and Elsa Cartier. Definitely check that out from Image Comics. All these titles will be available in August.
Mhm.
So you need to pre-order them starting now and make sure you don't miss them. So make that happen. And of course, we got our gems of the month, which we will definitely feature later in the month on Previews World Weekly, and of
Mhm.
course on our social media feed as well. But yeah, and also I got to mention it is Pride Month. Roger, Roger, Chad
Roger,
Seltzer,
Roger.
Edward Huey saying hello. What's up, Edward? What's up,
What's up,
Chad?
gang? Hi,
How's it
Chad.
going, man? So okay, it is New Comics Wednesday, and like I mentioned, the new previous catalog is dropped, but there's a bunch of other stuff that's available at your local comic shop this week. But first things first, we're going to talk about ourselves, or particularly the things we like
Yeah.
this week at our local comic shop, right? So here's our picks, and when we come back, we'll have even more. All right, Ashton, you want to go first? Should I go first? Who goes first?
I'll go first because I have an incredibly specific pick, and I don't know that there's a lot of overlap between football fans and nerds, but I'm it. I'm the demographic, so I'm going to talk about it and force
All right,
everyone
go
to
for it.
suffer through this.
Go for it.
Okay, so Funko's doing this line called Funko Gold figures, and it's all of these little form factor collectibles of NFL players. And I know nobody cares except for me, but I'm very excited about this. I am a huge NFL fan. Like, I love football. So they've got all of these little figurine guys. You got Odell Beckham, JJ Watt, Zeke Elliott, Trevor Lawrence, and Derrick Henry there on the end. And I discovered there's a Lamar Jackson one of these either out or coming soon. I was a little unclear on the release, but I want that because go Ravens. And I don't know, I just love it. Like anything football, I'm just like, yes, I'm sold on it. I'm here for it. So that's my pick. And I will be collecting as many of them as I can get my hands on, except for Odell. No hate.
Not interested.
No, not
What if
interested in Odell.
What
He's
if
a
they make
great
a Tom?
player.
Sorry, what if they make a Tom Brady?
Pass as well.
Okay, I kind of figured that was your answer as well. That's totally
I mean, look,
fine.
he's the GOAT. I get it. I don't want any of the like hate. He's the GOAT. I understand that. He's also a two-time cheater. So.
Oh, okay. Ooh, hot take. Okay, Ashton, come on, calm down. Let's talk about something less controversial,
Right.
like Star Wars or something. I don't know. You Ravens. Oh, some trolling from Chad. Damn.
Chad, let me know. Let me know what your team is so that I can also return the hate.
I'm trying to think of other football players that I think you would not want a Funko figure of. You specifically, Ashton. Aaron Rodgers.
I used to I like Aaron Rodgers a lot, but
Okay.
His recent political opinions over the last season were controversial to me, I will say.
Okay. Oh, we got Steelers
Oh,
fans
he's
in
a
here.
Steelers fan.
Oh, you
All
know
right.
what? We're close. Like we work in our office is actually kind of on that weird Maryland, Pennsylvania line, and so we have people
Mhm.
coming in the office who wear Steelers stuff pretty regularly. I don't know if you noticed that.
I did because I don't have any self control and I feel the need to pick a fight every time I see someone with Steelers apparel.
Just start a fight. I love it. It's
Oh
okay.
yeah.
All right. Well, I will prevent you from starting a fight right now. I'm going to do my pick for this week.
All
So,
right.
yeah, like this one I actually saw months ago, and it took a second because it kept getting resolicited and resolicited. But it looks awesome, and I am really curious about this. It's a book called Fox and Hare from Vault Comics,
Mhm.
art by Jonathan Sue and Stacy Lee. Cyberpunk, you guys know this is kind of my thing. It's kind of my steez, if kids say that anymore. It's kind of my jam. And no, they don't say that anymore. They don't say
No,
steez
no.
anymore. No, okay, I gotta let that go. All
Please.
right, I'll let
What?
that go. But it's definitely got some cyberpunk, hard cyberpunk leanings, and it's kind of cool. It's like about this evil data corporation that's after this girl, and she basically hires these mercenaries, the Fox and the Hare,
Mhm.
to basically protect her. And yeah, it's just kind of a cool ride. I like, it's the artwork looks amazing. I don't know if Johnny can show me some of the art, show you guys some of the art right now, but yeah, just everything you want from a cyberpunk story, really. Just cool characters, weird ass helmets.
I'm into it. I like the art.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
like vibrant and muted at the same time, which is
right,
really
yeah.
interesting.
Ultraviolet, like, and yeah, just kind of weird, crazy futurescape stuff. Always happy to just kind of fall into some cyberpunk stories. So hopefully this will be my new favorite series. And shout out to Volt, who man, I tried so hard to get Stacy Lee to do an interview, and
Ooh,
it just didn't quite happen. But you know what? I still want to read the book, and you should
right.
too. So check it out this week at your local comic shop. And of course, that's not all that's available at your local comic shop this week. Your comic shop also sells toys, right? So here's Natasha with this week's collectibles, and when we come back, we'll talk about the Eisners.
Mhm.
Natasha here, and I'm going to give you a look inside the Previews toy chest. Let's find out what's available at comic shops for the week of May 25th, 2022. Be sure to check with your local comic shop for availability. And to see more, head over to PREVIEWSworld.com/toychest. There you'll feast your eyes on more hot new collectibles.
All right, thank you, Natasha. And you can catch Natasha every Tuesday on Previous World's feed and
Mhm.
also on the Free Comic Book Day TikTok, where she gives you the rundown of collectibles, toys, action figures, whatever you want to call them, right? Available at your local comic shop this week. That's every Tuesday. And of course, you can play along right now with us as we talk about things happening this week at previewsworld.com/new releases because everything is listed there, including DC titles. Because I keep seeing people say, "Oh, you guys don't have DC." Yes, DC is on there. DC is on there, guys. I got a couple of comments here. I think not sure what the wow was for. I don't know if the wow was for your reaction to him
I
saying
think they're
Steelers.
probably upset. I don't know. Maybe sitting here being like Tom Brady's a cheater and Aaron Rodgers is a jerk and blah 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 is inflammatory. So maybe
Okay,
that was probably me.
maybe. I mean, you had a wow and an LOL, so maybe that was a good one. A lot of different books came out this week. Yes, they did, Edward.
Yeah.
Um, was it reminds me of Good Boy? Oh, I think he's talking about Fox and Hare. Actually, that's kind of interesting. Okay.
Okay. Anytime I hear the words good and boy together, I immediately think of dogs and then my brain can't do anything else.
I think there was a movie. I think he's talking about the movie Good Boy, actually, which I'm familiar with. Chad Selzer says, "Interesting comic. Thank you." So much Fox and Hare.
Mhm.
Um, Annie Fox recognizing Lupin the Third in this week's toy selection, so giving him a shout out. All right, more things happening this week, right? So let's talk about some news. You cool with that, Ashton?
Yeah, I guess.
All right. Well, okay. Well, no promises, guys. We'll see how this next segment plays out. Here's the news.
News.
All right, I feel like Johnny set the tone there. We're going to be enthusiastic about this, even though this first story is, not that uplifting. That's okay.
Okay, that's fair.
All right, so this week, a Virginia Beach politician has filed a lawsuit against Barnes & Noble to prohibit sales of Maya Kobabe's Genderqueer, as well as a handful of other books, to minors. And the Virginia Beach Circuit Court has found probable cause that these books are, quote, obscene to unrestricted viewing by minors, which is, not great. So for context, Genderqueer is a memoir by Maya Kobabe. They use pronouns Hare. So I want to make sure I get this correct on their behalf. And this memoir started as a way for them to explain to Hare family what it means to be non-binary, asexual, and then genderqueer kind of as Hare continued writing it, it kind of exploded into this guide and this personal exploration through gender identity and sexual orientation. And it's kind of a roadmap for others who are exploring their own sexuality. So it's an important piece of literature in the comic book zeitgeist, if you will. And so then when they were asked for a comment, Barnes & Noble, their statement said, as booksellers, we carry thousands of books whose subject matter some may find offensive. We live in a diverse society, and that diversity of opinion is reflected in the books we carry on our shelves that cater to the wide range of interests of our customers. We ask that our customers respect our responsibility to offer this breadth of reading materials and respect also that while they choose not to purchase many of these books for themselves, that they may be of interest to others. Yeah. Barnes & Noble had time.
Yeah.
Is basically what that says to me. And also they have a banned book section on their website, and in a lot of their stores, they have banned book displays. So if you're looking to find Genderqueer, you can probably find it there. You'll also find Mouse, which we talked about a couple months back, which is subject to book banning in Tennessee. Persepolis will be there, New Kid, and a handful of others, because I guess y'all don't know what to do with yourselves. Yeah, that's what's going on there.
That was the nicest way you could possibly put it. I appreciate it, Ashton. You know what? I will cut in here real quick to say that you know who is going to have Genderqueer next week?
Your local
comic shop. Yes. It drops June 1st from Oni Press Incorporated. So yeah, keep an eye. And actually, you can go to PREVIEWSworld.com right now. Go to search, type in Genderqueer, and you can take a look inside. Mm-hmm. So definitely take a look and stop banning books. Meh.
Well, I just gotta read. Let us read.
Yeah. Let people read. I mean, that's the first thing to take away, right? Yeah, it's like information. So it is a strategy, guys, and I won't go any further.
Y'all should read Fahrenheit 451.
Yeah, that too. What else is going on in the news, Ashton?
The Eisners are back and kicking this year. This one's a little more uplifting. So Comic-Con International has announced the 2022 nominations for the Will Eisner Industry Awards. DC Comics is leading the pack with the most nominations. They're at 15. Image was second with 14 nominations. And there's a ton to go around. As a reminder, the nominees are chosen by a rotating panel of judges. So it's different folks every year. So everyone kind of gets a chance to be involved. So to hit the high points of maybe some things that might be of interest, for Best Single Issue One Shot, Marvel Voices was picked, as well as Nightwing number 87. Nightwing got a lot of love kind of across the board. Immortal Hulk was picked for Best Continuing Series. Nightwing as well. Bitterroot. Something is Killing the Children, I think is interesting to point out. That's been Boom's kind of like big thing recently.
Critical acclaim and fan favorite. Yeah.
In spirit of AAPI Month, The Good Asian was picked for Best Limited Series. Stray Dogs was also picked in that category. It's really, there's a lot of categories. They don't want to go down one by one and read them off to you because that's boring, but they are certainly available on the website if you want to see the full list.
Yeah, absolutely. I will actually give props here to the Nightwing book because it's actually that particular issue is one continuous image.
That's awesome.
Yeah, which is kind of it's kind of hard to explain, but the idea is that you're getting, I guess if you took all the pages out and put them like in the proper order, you would get one giant 30-page comic book image, which is actually pretty cool. So
That's awesome.
yeah, shout out to Bruno Redondo and Tom Taylor for that, because that's
Mhm.
actually utilizing the format in an interesting way, which is actually pretty cool. All right, so those are the newsy
Mhm.
things, right?
Newsy.
But newsy things, right? But Kathleen Kennedy had a Vanity Fair interview this past week, right?
Yeah.
And I sent it to you. I did not read it, so I'm kind of going to rely on you.
Mhm.
You have to be like the reliable narrator here, Ashton.
I can
At
do
least,
that. I can actually do that.
at least at first, and then you can editorialize. But what was this Vanity Fair article about?
Yeah, so I have to say my first piece of editorializing that I'll do right out the gate is very good.
Okay.
So Kathleen Kennedy and a lot of other folks involved with kind of this Star Wars roadmap at Disney, John Favreau, Filoni, Deborah Chow, a couple other folks, sat down to finally, like really for the first time, discuss what is the vision for the Star Wars universe moving forward, because they've announced all of these shows. They're trying to build this outward and expand it. And so they've sat down to really talk about what that looks like, why they've made the creative choices that they have, and what informed those things. And so in doing that, you can see by this cover art that the shows they really drilled down on the most were Obi-Wan Kenobi, The Mandalorian, of course, Ahsoka's forthcoming show, and Andor, Cassian Andor's forthcoming show, to kind of explore how characters themselves are impacting these larger events that you associate with the Star Wars universe, and you associate.
Duh. I'm sorry.
Right. I mean, right. But it's really great. I mean, and I loved it. As a Star Wars fan, I thought this was fantastic. There is probably not been a better time to be a Star Wars fan since it first came out in the 70s. And I am so excited for where this is headed.
Okay.
And they really took the time to in this article to talk to, you know, Rosario Dawson and Pedro Pascal and
okay, nice.
Diego Luna and Hayden Christensen and Ewan McGregor, and really get them to give like just quick blurbs on how they feel about kind of the state of the Star Wars universe and what it means to participate in it, and like just get fans amped. And I felt amped.
Okay, no, good. I mean, that's, I mean, you know, at the end of the day, this is kind of like a fluff piece, right? Of course.
Mhm.
I mean, it's Vanity Fair, like that's definitely like an entertainment industry publication, you know what I mean? But the fact of the matter that you can walk out of it actually feeling excited about that, I think speaks a lot. Yeah. So I actually am generally, I should say, excited about the things that are happening in Star Wars. I definitely am hesitant about everything Star Wars right now, but I do feel these things do actually pique my interest. The Ahsoka show and the Obi-Wan show especially pique my interest. So yeah, I'm curious.
There's a really sweet interview with Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen on Lad Bible, which you should watch after you watch this.
You and Lad Bible. I remember you told me about that before, and I was like, Lad Bible's still around?
Yeah. They're out here. I had a moment, and I've noticed this, I've had this feeling a couple times, like as like promo for Obi-Wan show has been going on, and then I finally was able to identify it after I read this article and then watched this video this morning. And that is, I actually find myself weirdly protective of the prequel trilogy. I know it gets a lot of hate, but like, I don't know. I had a moment where I was like, this is an important story. Like, we need these stories. These characters are important. And I don't know. I think it's aged well. I know a lot of people think it hasn't aged well, but I don't know. I think I'm not here for the prequel hate anymore.
Okay. No, I mean, well, you know, the sequel hate has kind of totally taken over. It's a much more urgent matter at this point in time. I mean, you know, I get the whole mentality of you know, you might not like I understand, I appreciate the mentality of you might not like the prequels, but at least it was George's vision. You know what I mean? And that's the one thing I'm like, well, you know what, you got me there. I think Revenge of the Sith is cool. Like I've always thought it was a cool movie. You know,
Revenge of the Sith is awesome. I just think there's too many things in the prequels that have become really important, really iconic that you can't throw the baby out the bathwater. Like you wouldn't have Duel of the Fates, you wouldn't have Darth Maul or that like final battle. You wouldn't have like any of Revenge of the Sith. You wouldn't have the Mustafar battle or like battle in the Colosseum during the Clone Wars. Like there's so many good things that I realize now that like just because I hated Jar Jar Binks doesn't mean the rest of this is crap. And that was kind of the mentality I had for a really long time. And now finally I'm like, this is a precious baby. Like we need to protect it.
I remember actually being I was in school and I was actually reviewing movies for our school paper.
Oh
And
boy.
the big thing was like Phantom Menace was coming out. Phantom Menace was coming out. And yeah, afterwards, I like everybody, of course, is asking me like, all all the students are like, all the other nerdy students, I guess, are like, did you like it? Did you like it? And I'm like, it's good. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I couldn't quite say it, but yeah, I don't love episode one, but I again, I respect the vision, right? At the end of the day, I
Yeah,
think
I
that's all you
mean,
can really ask for.
I was so young when the first ones came out that I was squarely in the demographic they were
Yeah.
aiming for. So I think we
Right,
had
right.
different experiences with them
Oh
as well.
yeah. I was already in crotchety old nerd mode.
Okay, I was not.
And I mean, I have a cousin who feels the same way, and he's about your age too.
Mhm.
Andy Fox, I feel the same way, Ashton. Look, cosign. Look at that. What else we
Yes.
got? You got anything else, Johnny? Mandalorian: The Book of Boba Fett was good. It was so good.
Yes.
I liked the Book of Boba Fett. I didn't hate
So
it as
did
much as
I.
I didn't hate it. Like people were hating on it a little too much. I'm not a fan of Obi-Wan, but I think the Jedi are all cowards. Ooh.
Mm. Chad, okay, Chad is in these comments with the spicy takes today.
These
Chad,
some
you need
spicy
to simmer
takes.
down, my guy.
I mean, you know what? Keep them coming, Chad. Like, be the. This is the type of trolling I can deal with.
Yeah.
Chad hasn't said anything completely off the wall yet, so we can roll with that. Let's. Oh, well, this is
Oh
Edward
wait,
Hui.
this is all right.
They came out with like books based on the screenplays for all three prequels. I read all three books before I saw the movie, so I enjoyed Phantom Menace more than most people did because I
Ah,
understood what was going on. Okay, no, that's cool.
very valid.
I mean, that's true. Those novelizations do give different context. Wow, Chad.
Damn.
Chad making enemies over here. I mean, hey, comes with the territory being in the
That's what we
chat.
do.
I did want to talk real quick, and I don't know if Johnny wants to jump into this, but also Thor and the Mission Impossible trailer dropped this week.
Yes.
I will be honest with you, much more excited for the Mission Impossible trailer right now. I like that's kind of wrong. Johnny on the other hand was like, why do they keep making Mission Impossible movies? Like, shut up, Johnny. Shut your stupid mouth.
I don't know. Maybe Chad has something to say about this too, but I was more excited. Well, the Mission Impossible trailer. It's just another thing of like, does America need these movies or does Tom Cruise need these movies?
America needs these movies. No, actually, the world needs these movies, Johnny. These are international hits.
I mean, to be fair, they're on their fourth Thor movies. You can make the same argument there.
That's fair.
Right. I don't know. I think I don't know. I just think I just enjoy the hell out of these movies. I love the music, of course, right? I love the stupid stunts. I love Tom Cruise's absolute commitment to like just almost killing himself every single movie. It like reminds me of Jackie Chan, so I can't hate on it. And it's got Haley Atwell on it. I will not lie, I have a crush on Haley Atwell, so whatever. Okay. And yeah, just fun stuff. And I've been watching these movies so much. I don't care if every plot is Tom Cruise gets disavowed, has to go on the run from his own organization, and then proves to be right at the end. Don't care. I still like him.
I mean,
yeah, like right there. This is probably the shot where it's like, oh, there's where Tom Cruise does his own stunts again.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? That last shot gave me serious Fast and Furious vibes, though.
Oh yeah, for sure. You know that's kind of the weird thing. We were just talking about Fast and Furious. At least, like, I feel like Mission Impossible still maintained its own seriousness.
Yes. Oh, for sure. Like, I mean, Tom Cruise is so invested.
He's so invested. Fast and Furious, I don't know, man. Like, I'm just starting to question it more and more every single time I see more and more from it. I saw Jason Momoa hanging out in a purple car with Vin Diesel. Like, I don't know, man.
Wait, Jason Momoa? Wow.
Yeah, he's in it apparently. I don't know.
All right, sure. You got it.
Sure. Anyway, but yeah, we should talk about the Thor trailer. No, the Thor trailer was cool. I'm not knocking the Thor trailer. I'm loving the rock god thing that they're going for with the Taika Waititi's going for. So I can't hate on it at all. But I don't know, Johnny.
I mean, I'm always in the mood for like powerful female heroes. So
there you go. Yeah, right.
To me, and I like Natalie Portman.
I will say I'm surprised that we got another trailer this soon after just the teaser trailer.
Yeah.
Well,
I didn't think it was going to be this soon.
Well, the funny thing is, I thought the teaser trailer was the trailer. Mm-hmm. So it wasn't until this came out, I was like, oh, wait, this is the actual trailer? And I can't really say that one's better than the other. I feel like you got to get the same energy from both things, which is probably fine. Like, I guess we don't want big reveals nonstop, but yeah, I thought this was fun.
I think it was a little too similar too, because I feel like I'm hearing that same Sweet Child of Mine riff in the background.
Oh yeah, you definitely are. You definitely.
I mean, if they're gonna come out with another trailer, then like I would at least want it to be changed up a little bit, not kind of be feeling so similar to the other one. Although
So actually,
it is cool. Like you see here, we're getting views of
the God Butcher, yeah,
or the God Butcher,
yeah, as the God Butcher. I hope they don't make too much fun of that. I hope they let him play that straight, because I think it's like the Naked Gun thing. Like Leslie Nielsen plays it straight, and so it's funnier because everything else around him is absolutely absurd. And I kind of hope that's the direction they go with this. But see some nods to Dan Jurgens' Thor run with Thor's helmet in one of the scenes, and then on top of that, I get the impression this might be a lot of multiverse stuff that we're seeing in some of this movie. So at least in terms of Jane's involvement in the movie itself. So it makes me wonder if there was a Jason Aaron book called Thor's, plural, that came out during the Secret War crossover by Jonathan Hickman that had all the different Thors kind of converge for one threat. You know what I mean? So I think that maybe there's a little bit of that in here. Maybe that might be kind of interesting to see. So yeah, we'll see. Could be cool. Oh, Johnny, you're muted.
I do love this part at the end. It's like, what's sneak preview? You flick too hard, damn it.
Yeah, didn't like this part. Don't like this part at all.
Oh, but it's great. It's like not only do all the women faint, but look, the guard in the back right just kind of like
right. Men and women faint. Chris Hemsworth is just that hot.
I mean, he's no Chris Evans, but
we're gonna start this argument again.
All right. Actually, also, I got to point out, the Russo brothers had a movie called The Gray Man that's coming to Netflix, and it's Chris Evans and Ryan Gosling actually fighting each other, like versus each other. It's like a spy thriller.
What? So, okay, I'm down.
Yeah,
I've not heard of that before, but I'm with it.
The Gray Man. It's based on a novel, apparently, and I saw the trailer the other day. I was like, that's pretty cool. All right. Tom moves the bar higher and higher on the stunts. He does. I was joking earlier. I don't actually want this, but I think he's going to die making Mission Impossible movies.
Okay, I was about to say the same thing. Like, it's impressive, but it makes me very nervous.
Right. Yes. I mean, he's committed, man. I think that's part of the charm of the movies. It's like, you know what? I want to believe because Tom Cruise wants to believe. So no Scientology jokes, Johnny. Hoping to see DC League of Super Pets. Oh, that's right. That is coming out soon, right? Is that this?
Yeah,
summer?
They had a free comic book day book to support it too.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, absolutely. All right, let's. I might be the minority, no surprise, but I like all the Thors so far. That's cool. I'm with that.
Were we ranking Thors?
The movies, I guess. Is that what you're saying? Yeah, I think that's what she's saying. She likes all the Thors. Yeah.
I think she's kind of saying like a lot of people will kind of like dismiss the Dark World as
the
not
Dark
being
World.
as good
Yeah.
as the other ones.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right.
Yeah. Yeah, I might be in that camp, but whatever. It's your choice, Annie. You do what you want. Actually, speaking of Marvel, let's do some more Marvel stuff. So as we mentioned in the catalog this month for June, right? So catalog shows up a little bit early, right? But it is the June catalog.
Yes.
We are celebrating Pride Month inside the catalog that month, which means we will be selling Pride Month on our website throughout the month of June. And this is kind of a thing that also a lot of other publishers do. They take these cultural heritage months and kind of make an event out of them throughout the year. Marvel's been doing this for quite some time. So you mentioned Marvel Voices earlier, right, Ashton? During the Eisner Awards, where here's a trailer for Marvel Voices Identity, which is actually celebrating AAPI Month. So check this out. When we come back, I'll talk a little bit more about it. I don't know if you noticed, Ashton. I was getting my heritage and my cultural months mixed up at first, and I kind of moonwalked it back to get to AAPI month. So sorry about that, guys. Because I was literally about to be like, "Oh, and here's a Pride Month trailer for Marvel Voices." I was like, "Wait a minute, no, that's not what that is.
Nope.
It's still May. We're not ready for June yet." So I
Yeah,
apologize.
I think
Hopefully,
the catalog coming out kind of
it throws
made
you
you.
off a little bit. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's always those last 2 weeks when the catalog is already on the site, and I'm like, it's June, right? I'm already thinking ahead of the month ahead. So
Hmm.
anyway, Marvel Voices Identity is available at your local comic shop right now. It is the Eisner Award nominated series. And of course, they've been doing these like, I want to say almost quarterly, probably more than that at Marvel, where they do a Marvel Voices for Black
Hmm.
History Month. They do one for Pride Month. They do one for Asian American Heritage Month. They do it for Latin American Heritage Month. They do it for Indigenous Peoples Month. Like they've been doing these things on a regular, and it's like a good way to kind of on their end introduce people to the world of Marvel, because Marvel is very diverse. I always like to point that out. And but also kind of get people to know some of the diverse pool of creators in the world of comics as well, and also outside, because sometimes they get special guests who come in and join the fray to like write or draw a comic. So definitely check that out. But let's keep going on the AAPI front. How about that, Ashton?
Keep it pushing.
Keep it pushing. All right, so this week's Social Swamp. Well, you know what? I'll let it speak for itself. Let's do it. Social Swamp time.
Okay, like Troy said, we are still celebrating AAPI month. So as we wrap up the month, we wanted you guys to get involved in the conversation and tell us who are your favorite AAPI, or I mean, even non-American if you wanted to go that far, creators in comics. And that's the whole shebang: writers, artists, inkers, letterers, whatever you got to say. Give a shout out to your favorite. So let's see what you guys had to say. I'm going to give my normal disclaimer. I apologize if I mispronounce names. I'm bad at it. I know.
Just in general.
You just like, you don't even need to be like, I will ruin anybody's name. You don't need to be non-American for me to ruin your name. And I'm sorry about it. All right, I know this first one though. All right, Anthony says Artgerm, of course, is one of his favorite cover artists. Haven't seen a better version of Supergirl.
Wow.
Jolivet, pretty name. Jean Luen Yang. I first met him when he was still a high school teacher in Oakland.
Oh, wow.
That's crazy. Aaron says Larry Hama.
Oh, yeah.
No explanation, just shout out.
I mean, he practically created G.I. Joe as we know it. So
just the vibes are perfect.
Just mic drop.
Right. Galen says, I'll pick Jim Lee. Been a fan of his since Punisher War Journal. I also like Kuzo Koki and Goseki Kojima's work on Lone Wolf and Cub. You see a lot of influences of Lone Wolf and Cub in media like New Legend of Shaolin and The Mandalorian.
Absolutely. You absolutely do.
Shaolin Sucker Punch says Marjorie Liu and Sana Takita. I hate this.
Takeda.
Okay.
Yeah.
Make an incredible team. I believe I saw them work together for the first time on the X-Men 23 Solo several years ago.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I guess I would be on X-Men.
Cover Price Comics says, while Portasio, Greg Pak, and Lenel Yu, Wave agents of Atlas, Amy Chu, and of course the new kid on the block, Peach Momoko. Of course, Artgerm and Nakayama for cover work. That is a lot of picks.
Somebody cheated.
That's okay. That's okay. A lot of picks. Right. Got a lot of picks. Go on.
Right. We want to recommend. Yeah, I actually wanted to point out that I wanted to do a lot more for AAPI month. Let me just preface that, right?
Okay.
But none of my interviews fell through. I actually mentioned the Stacey Lee thing about Fox and the Hare earlier.
Yeah.
So I had a bunch of them and couldn't quite get them to work out. But I am happy to say that we do have a roundtable discussion that's dropping tomorrow on Previous World's YouTube, on Previous World's Facebook, on Free Comic Book Day's Facebook as well. And yeah, it's going to be a nice little collection. We're going to have Patrick Michael Strange of Nerds Rule the World, Ming Chen of Comic Book Men, Moana Nui, who's doing a series of books from Burning Spear, and me as the host.
We love
So
anime.
yeah, we love anime. Of course, we love anime because she's part of the Previous World family, right?
Sure.
So definitely check that out. Mia's familiar with all these people, so it should be kind of a fun, lively, friendly conversation. And I'm curious to see what they have to say about Asian Americans, Pacific Islanders in comic book history, et cetera, et cetera. I don't know if you remember last time we had Patrick Michael Strange on. He put us on to Will Spartacio's importance to the AAPI community in terms of comics, and like his creation of X-Men's Bishop, and of course stuff founding Image Comics, being one of the founders of Image Comics. So hopefully we'll get some more gems like that tomorrow. I think that would be really cool because a lot of experience and a lot of knowledge in that round table. So definitely check that out. And I will remind you later. Stan Sakai, so talented. He also is a very nice person. Yeah, shout out to Stan Sakai.
Yay.
Yeah. Let's see here. Actually, speaking of things that are influenced by Koiki, Ashton, what is this week's poll?
Oh gosh. Okay. So this week's poll is about Obi-Wan Kenobi because I'm very excited. I've watched a lot of Ewan McGregor interviews. My YouTube history is a mess right now. Okay, so I asked you guys, what about Obi-Wan Kenobi coming out in 2 days are you most excited about? I know there's a lot to be excited about, but you got to narrow it down. Pick one, and your choices are Obi-Wan Vader interactions, the Inquisitors, just super cool. What did I put for the third one? Oh, the expanding lore, of course, building outward from the Skywalker saga, and just yay, Obi-Wan, we're excited.
Okay, nice. You can tell Ashton's excited about this poll because normally she does 2 selections.
Oh yeah,
but she was like, no. She's like, I need the range of feelings to describe how I feel about this show. So shout out to you. Also, I thought it said exploding lore, and I was like, wait, what? Okay,
does it?
No, it does. It says expanding lore.
Okay.
So, Johnny, you want to jump in here, join the conversation? You know what? You are always the decider in these matters. So where are you on this?
Well, the tricky part is, and I'm a terrible Star Wars fan, and I've probably said this on the show before, but I never finished Clone Wars, and I never watched Rebels. So I know
I'm guilty of that too. It's okay.
I'm falling way behind. Now that being said, I am familiar with the Inquisitors, so I know about them. I just don't know the full backstory.
They're basically more fallen Jedi that are just carrying out Order 66. Like they are Jedi that have also fallen to the dark side via Palpatine and his mind melding abilities. And they just are traveling the galaxy, completing any unfinished Jedi murder. That's the long and short of it.
Okay. But I mean, the same thing kind of goes with when I was watching, I think it was Mandalorian season 2. Is that when Bo-Katan came in?
Yeah.
No, I know Bo-Katan was in Clone Wars. I never got to see her backstory, but again, that still doesn't inhibit my ability to enjoy the show. So, I
imagine too, they're probably angling that a lot of people won't have that background info, so they'll probably explain it all anyway.
Well, I mean, I don't know. They didn't show too much about Cad Bane in Book of Boba Fett.
That's true. He did just sort of show up, stir the pot, and then die. Allegedly,
right? Yeah.
Jeff Swab saying Rebels was great. I know, I hear that so much, and I do want to watch it. I just need to catch up on it. I know, like, I watched like the first season and a half, and just Ahsoka was getting on my nerves. I know she grows as a character. I understand that, but when I was watching,
in Clone Wars.
Was it Clone Wars? I'm sorry. Yes, Clone Wars.
Yeah, she shows up at like the very end of Rebels.
Anyway, overall, I think I'm more looking forward to like the Obi-Wan Vader exchanges because, you know, the last time they kind of saw each other was in Star Wars Episode 4. It was A New Hope. So to see what happened then, well, at least in my mind.
Okay.
Never mind. Casual Star Wars fan, don't judge me.
That's
Obi-Wan Vader exchanges. Anyway, 44.9% are voting for that.
I will say I am always more excited about expanding the lore. In particular with Star Wars. I just want to see corners of the galaxy. Like that's my big thing. You know, if there's a smuggler involved, even better. If there's a rogue involved, even better. But I just want to see different corners of the Star Wars galaxy. So I'm with that 100%.
It's just such a big sandbox.
I like Chad. Stop it.
Allegedly. I said allegedly.
You know, I didn't give that much thought when it happened. I remember watching that in Book of Boba Fett. I'm like, well, that's kind of anticlimactic. But you're right. Like, there's no way he's dead.
No.
Yeah, right. There's no way in hell he's dead. Like, absolutely
Probably
not.
going to be a problem for the Mandalorian like 2 seasons from now.
Maybe,
Yeah,
or
probably.
maybe as future season of Book of Boba Fett, maybe he comes back with a vengeance.
I mean,
You
Boba
know?
Fett didn't die after Jedi, so
Right, exactly, right. As actually, a lot of characters don't die in Star Wars, so
Yeah.
it's okay.
I mean, they're not playing by the same rules, okay? This was a long time ago.
it's
In
in a galaxy far away.
Yeah, exactly.
Ashton, what is this week's comic shop shout out?
Oh boy, this week's comic shop shout out comes from Victoria Foxfang, which is just a bomb name. It goes to Pop Culture Comics in Overland Park, Kansas. It's her go-to place for the best stuff around, lots of books for all ages and lots of neat figures and stuff. We do love neat figures and stuff. We will show you some images from inside of that comic shop during the credits roll so you can get a little sneak peek. If you want us to shout out your local comic book shop on the show, find us on social media, tag your shop. If they don't have a handle, just leave their name and use the hashtag #SupportYourLCS. We'll find your local comic book shop, shout them out on the show, and give them some love.
Absolutely. And as always, this is a reminder for you, talking to you there, right there. Okay, there you go. For you to like, follow, and subscribe. Hang out with me at Previews World, and you can hang out with Ashton at
Free comic book day.
All right. Yeah. See, we're cool. Like, we don't cause problems. We just want to talk comics and other nerdy things, and maybe we'll say occasionally inflammatory things about the NFL and Star Wars. But you just gut it out with us, and it'll be smooth sailing, guys. I'm just saying, like, we want to be your friends. That's all. So yeah, give us a like, give us a follow, give us a hit that subscribe button, smash that subscribe button, as they say on YouTube all the time.
Ding the bell or whatever.
Ding the bell, right? Let's see here. Free company. Okay, that's old actually. So we don't.
Oh, hold on. I gotta say, Ubaldo, see you next week's next Star Wars celebration. Ubaldo, are you going to Star Wars Celebration?
Yeah, let us know.
I haven't been to Star Wars Celebration in years. I think the last one I went to was down in Orlando, like a long time ago.
Oh, really? You got to go. That's actually pretty cool.
That was that was around the time when the prequels were coming out.
Huh.
Oh,
okay. Wow. Cool. They've been doing it that long? I thought it was a fairly new thing. That's interesting.
No, they started it when Episode 1 came out.
All right,
it was at like some Air and Space Museum, I think, in Denver, Colorado, and then 2 and 3 I went to. They were in Indianapolis, the same place where they hold Gen Con. So it was Indiana Convention Center area. Then it was in Florida. There was in Anaheim one year, and then it was in Florida. And I think right around when it was in Florida is when talks were kind of starting to happen about building the Star Wars land in Disney World and Disneyland as well.
Okay. All right. But like after that, it's always been Anaheim, right?
I know it's in Anaheim this year. They've had it in Europe before. They had it in Chicago once. So I think it kind of moves around every now and then.
Huh. All right. Interesting. I wonder what dictates them moving around, like, the conventions. I'm actually very curious about that.
Ubaldo says yes. Ubaldo, stop by and say hi to the good folks over at Diamond Select Toys.
Nice. Yeah,
or
exactly.
Hake, because Hake's has a Star Wars auction going on, and I think it's live now, so that goes through. I think sometime in June, I believe.
I think June 2nd.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, it's over June 2nd. Yeah. Well, actually, just to clarify, Hake's is not going to be a Star Wars celebration, but Diamond Select Toys is, right?
No, I believe Hake's is going to be there too.
Oh, they're going to be there too.
Yeah, I think they are. Yeah.
No, they're going to be there. They're going to have like a bunch of the items in the auction are available up for auction, like there at the show.
Okay, awesome. All right, well there you go. I didn't even know that. So yeah. Say hi to our peoples over at Diamond Select Toys and Hake's for sure if you're a Star Wars celebration. Speaking of things. Bye, Johnny. Speaking of things to say hi to PREVIEWSworld.com for me, guys. I got an interview right now for a book called Silk Hills from Oni Press. This is by Ryan Ferrier and Brian Lovell and artist Kate Sharon. It's an original hardcover graphic novel. It centers on the town of Silk Hills, and it's kind of a murder mystery, like missing persons type of thing, you know what I mean? And it's got a really weird selection of conflicts to kind of for the main character Beth to get past, like local drug trade, two friendly creepers, a very sinister deer, and then on top of that, psychoactive moth dust. So
what?
Yes, I don't know. I mean, it looks like truthfully, it sounds like it's going for some serious Twin Peaks vibes. And so I'm kind of into that. And even looking at the artwork, I kind of feel that's the direction it's going. So yeah, if you're a fan of I always get my Davids mixed up. David Lynch or David Cronenberg. Actually, if you're a fan of either one of them, you should probably go check out Still Kills. So that's in comic shops coming up in June, but you can get a little sneak peek on PREVIEWSworld.com right now by checking out the interview. And another reminder for the AAPI roundtable tomorrow. This is at 3:30. On May 25th, Patrick Michael Strange, Ming Chen, Anna Mia, and Moana McAdams are both going to be there representing the AAPI community in comics. You get a nice spread here because Mia's a cosplayer and writer now. Patrick Michael Strange, of course, is a YouTube personality. He's done a bunch of stuff, in particular with the Filipino community on YouTube in regards to representation. And then Ming Chen, of course, is AMC's Comic Book Men, and Moana is more of an indie creator who's been doing stuff through Kickstarter. So you get a nice spread of what the experience is like in comics right now. So definitely check that out, and that's tomorrow.
Sure, I do have to apologize. It does say May 25th. May 25th is today, so that should say May 26th.
May 26th. Sorry.
That is on me. I will fix that graphic.
All right. Cool. And I think that's it for Previous World Weekly, guys.
Wow, this is a quick one. As quick as 47 minutes can be.
I'm actually shocked because I'm Kathleen Kennedy came up in the conversation and the show didn't run an hour and 10 minutes.
You know what? I have to say, I made a conscious decision when we yesterday were putting together the outline for the show, and we were like, oh, we're gonna talk about the Vanity Fair piece. I decided at that point in time, I was like, you know what? I really like that article, and I want to focus on the good things that are happening in Star Wars and not spend 15 minutes complaining about Kathleen Kennedy. So.
Exactly. Right. Just because we're on the internet does not mean we have to act like the internet, kids. That's just how it works. Right. We can just say nice, and we talk about the positives and hope for the best. I think that's always good, especially in your fandom of choice. But yeah, that's it for Previous World Weekly, guys. I'm one of your hosts, Troy Jeffrey Allen.
I'm the other host, Ashton Greenwood.
And we will catch you all, every last one of you, at the Spinner Rack next week. Catch you later.
Don't forget that you can catch Previews World Weekly streaming live every Wednesday at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific at Previews World on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch.